Valyria was the capital city of the once great civilization of the Valyrian Freehold. Valyria was located on the continent of Essos to the east of Westeros, a peninsula extending south to the Summer Sea from the Valyrian Peninsula, which was located in the southeastern part of what is now known as the Free Cities. Three-quarters of the great continent of Essos was under Valyria. The Valyrian Freehold lasted for about 5,000 years. Freehold is not an empire. Freehold was an advanced civilization. Freehold was ruled by the big noble families and powerful lords of that continent. It was undisputed that the dragon lords were the most powerful of the freehold rulers. The two houses that competed for power were considered the greatest power in Valyria, Belarus family and Vaisla. They are also dragon lords. Although House Targaryens were dragon lords, the truth is that Targaryens were not considered a powerful house. Apart from being dragon lords, Valyrians were people who practiced blood magics, dark arts, and many other acts that the outside world considered a great sin. There are those who believe that the fall of Valyria was a result of all this. Purple eyes and silver gold or platinum white hair were common racial traits of the Valyrians. Valyria is said to still contain many treasures such as Valyrian steel blades and magically powered items. The glass candles in the citadel of Old Town are said to have been brought from Valyria 1,000 years before Doom. Welcome everyone to Valyria's The Old Time History. Years before the Valyrian Freehold existed, Valyria was just a small city. Those who were there were mostly shepherds, farmers, and nomads. When the Old Empire of Giz was at its full strength and expanding in all directions, they even noticed Valyria, which was just a small city back then. Why count down that small town of shepherds and nomads, right? But they were wrong. The Valyrians discovered that the dragons lived among the circular volcanoes of the 14 Flames, which the humans of the Valyrian Peninsula were reluctant to visit. After finding a way to tame and use these dragons, they set out to conquer Essos with the power of dragons, starting with the Giscaris, the people of Giz. By the time Giz realized that they should never have left Valyria unattended, it was too late. After 5 separate invasions and various rebellions, the dragons paved the way for a new dawn, giving birth to the Valyrian Freehold. The new empire of Valyria, built by dragons, continued to grow, sacking and burning city after cities, and they conquered much of southern Essos after making Mir, Lish, Lorath, Tyrosh, Pendos, Kohor, Nervos, and Volantes freehold. They built a fortress called Dragonstone on Volcanic Island, which guards the entrance to Blackwater Bay to enable trade with Westeros. The Giscari attacked the Valyrians about 5 times to try to stop their advance, but were never defeated. With the help of the dragons, Valyria managed to defend and win each time. In the final Giscari War, the Valyrians marched on Old Giz, the capital city of the Giscari, and razed it to the ground. After destroying the old empire of Giz, Valyria extended its influence to the remaining Giz colonies in Slavers Bay, taking on Giz's legacy of slavery, and began colonizing and conquering more territories. The Valyrian Freehold expanded and conquered further west, capturing many slaves from the conquered lands and using them to mine the many treasures from the volcanoes of the 14 Flames, as well as building great cities and roads leading to Valyria. For many years, the Valyrians maintained a peaceful relationship with the Rhoynar civilization in Rohan, the western lot of the Valyrian Peninsula. So the Valyrians crossed the Rhone to fight with Andals in Andalus west of the Rhone. Instead of becoming slaves of the Valyrians, the Andals crossed the narrow sea and annexed Westeros before the arrival of the Valyrians. The Valyrians conquered the remaining Andals in western Essos and established the colonizing west of their peninsula. The Rhoynish Wars were a series of wars between the Rhoynar city-states and colonies in the Valyrian Freehold between 950 BC and 700 BC. This war ended with the Second Space War, when the Valyrian colony Volunteers turned its attention to the civilization of the Roinar. Prince Garin of Cloyne led an army of 250,000 men and defeated Valyria at Selhoiris, Valaisar and Volan. 2 more dragons died in that war, where lakhs of soldiers died. But the Valyrians fought back with an overwhelming force of 300 dragons. Garin the Great, reputed to have defeated the Valyrians, was captured by the Valyrians and burned to ashes by the Rhoynish army. Princess Nymeria of Nyzar led the escape of the remaining Rhoynars in Essos. All of Nymeria's 10,000 ships that arrived at dawn in the Westeros were said to be women and children, suggesting that most of their war-aged men died in the war with the Freehold.